Before we begin, the name is placed on the top right side of the screen. The story starts with a ship in the middle of the ocean. Someone calls Lily a wonderful child as she seems to hide behind her sisters. Rebecca questions how old she is. Lily feels shy but answers that she is 6 years old and tells Rebecca she is very pretty too. Rebecca thanks the little Lily. A dark reverse-harem novel known as Rebecca Marchioness Fleur flashes in Lily's mind. Meeting the female protagonist that shares the same name as that novel at a party aboard the ship is truly an extraordinary thing for Lily. The plot, which strikes Lily like lightning along with a fever, goes as follows. The protagonist Rebecca leaves her hometown of Trouvanica to settle in the Empire for revenge. There she accidentally gets entangled with the male leads and earns their love. The male leads, using their individual powers, desperately try to claim Rebecca for themselves. However, she manipulates them, igniting a war that turns her hometown, Trouvanica, into a sea of flames. In the process, what gets sacrificed is none other than Lily's family. Her elder sister Alice dies in the battle, Trouvanica is defeated in the war, and Lily is taken to the Empire as a prisoner. Until she learns about the plot of the story, Lily is just an ordinary 6-year-old. Alice tells Rebecca that Lily is not always this shy. The original story ends when Lily turns 15, but her mental age isn't particularly advanced either. Even now, she doesn't remember her past life. She screams internally, trying to remember, and suddenly, as if struck by lightning, information from the original story pours in like a flood. Lily knows she has to do something to stop it from going as told in the original. She doesn't even know if she reincarnated or possessed this body. Suddenly, Rebecca puts forward a chocolate. Lily, swayed by the chocolate, comes forward. It is hard to come by chocolate in Trouvanica. Seeing Lily's beaming face, Rebecca questions if she likes chocolate, and Lily answers that she loves chocolate. Lily's sister prompts her to thank Rebecca properly. With a big smile, Lily thanks Rebecca. Rebecca asks Alice if it's alright if she pats Lily's head. Alice replies that it is fine if Lily is okay with it. Stooping down, Rebecca asks Lily if she can pat her head. Once Lily allows it, Rebecca pats Lily's head, and Lily seems to enjoy it. Rebecca looks at her silently before she apologizes for everything. Lily is confused as to what Rebecca means. Rebecca then wonders what Lily's dream is. Lily seems to want to live happily with her sisters. Rebecca praises her dream and assures her it will definitely come true. With a smile, Rebecca requests Lily to grow healthy. Lily, all smiles, promises to do so and requests Rebecca to take care too. That night, someone falls over the deck railing. Despite a month-long search, the body is never found, and it is concluded that she had died. That person is Rebecca. The original story ends even before it starts. Even Lily's sisters, who help with the investigation, are quite confused, though Lily doubts anyone is as troubled as she is. Lily wonders if it is possible but is confused over how this could happen. If Rebecca truly died, Lily is unsure of what the original story is supposed to be. The scene shifts to Lily being picky about her food as she sighs. Alice turns to Lily, wondering why she sighed so deeply. Lily responds that it's nothing. Alice questions Lily if there is a secret she doesn't want to tell her sisters, promising it will stay between the two of them. Amelia interjects, remarking that Lily just doesn't want to eat her bell peppers. Scolding her, Amelia tells Lily to eat and not leave anything behind. Lily replies that she hates bell peppers. The scary-looking face of Amelia makes Lily eat them. Amelia tells her she needs to eat if she wants to grow taller, as she can't stay small forever. Regina comes from behind, seconding Amelia. Even if Lily doesn't want to eat bell peppers, she needs to, as it will help her grow taller. Regina brings a pot of food, the smell of which is amazing. Amelia shouts at Regina for bringing the food so late, ranting that she only slept for an hour yesterday and is starving now. Lily is very excited to see the shrimp in the soup. Ignoring Amelia's rants, Regina tells Lily to eat a lot and grow healthy and tall. Lily has 3 older sisters and 1 older brother. The tired and grumpy-looking person is her youngest sister, Amelia. In the original story, when the war broke out and Lily was dragged to the Empire, Amelia worked tirelessly to save Lily, even infiltrating the palace to help her. The twin sister, born 7 minutes after Amelia, is Regina. She is kind and makes the best food, and she is Lily's favorite. Her eldest sister Alice is kind, caring, and graceful. In short, the most amazing person in the world. Her brother Andrea, however, suddenly left for the countryside without any warning, so he isn't living with them for the time being. Lily seems to miss her brother. Right now, Lily is the only one who knows the content of the original story. That's why she has so many worries she can't share with her sisters. her sisters wouldn't understand her, and there's nothing she can do either. The death of the original female protagonist, Rebecca, means the contents of the original story never even began. The war only broke out because the male leads were obsessed with Rebecca. Lily is confused, wondering if she doesn't need to worry about anything. Lily even told Rebecca that she only wishes to live happily with her sisters, sharing delicious food like this with her beloved family forever, happy and getting along well so that no one dies. The original female protagonist, who was supposed to disrupt this happiness, is already gone. Now what's left are the crazy male leads. Lily thinks that if she lives like this, she won't see the male leads either. After all, the original starts 6 years later, when she turns 12. She eats the food, deciding to forget her worries and enjoy her meal first. Lily tells Regina the food is amazing, which makes Regina very happy. There's still a lot of time before Lily unfolds the story, or so she thinks. Amelia tells Lily to wash up as they need to go somewhere together. Lily questions where they are going. Amelia says she is taking her to buy some pretty clothes, but Lily believes she already has enough clothes. Amelia dismisses this, saying she doesn't have enough. Lily points out that she bought clothes last week, insisting they are enough. Amelia counters, saying they aren't. Lily finds it strange because every time Amelia says something like that, Lily ends up at the hospital for a shot. At the boutique shop, someone calls out to Lily as Little Lady and greets her. Lily finds the man really handsome. It definitely doesn't seem like she is here for a shot, but she wonders who he is. Amelia, however, turns to the man and questions if he is Francois Castle. Hearing this name shocks Lily. What did her sister just say? Right now, Francois Castle is the genius wizard and the head of the magic tower who, in the original story, takes the role of the insane male lead. He locks the female protagonist in the tower and places Lily as her maid. The man confirms that he is indeed Francois Castle, adding that Amelia Berchio must be the one before him. Lily internally cries, wondering what he is doing here right now. Lily wonders what Francois is doing here when there are still 6 years left before the original story unfolds. She bites her lip in worry, thinking that she first needs to get away from here with her sister. Turning to her sister, she ponders if Amelia and Francois know each other, but she knows Francois is a truly dangerous person. In fact, all of the male leads in the original story have a crazy side. The Emperor, Marius, is someone who would do anything for the heroine because of his insane obsession. The Knight Commander, Leopold, the strongest man, surrenders himself to the heroine due to his mad devotion. However, unlike these two, who are madly in love, Francois, the Lord of the Magic Tower, is afflicted with true insanity. His madness is like a ticking time bomb ready to explode at any moment, making this encounter feel even more perilous. Amelia finally speaks, questioning Francois if he received the letter about the relationship between ancient magic and supernatural abilities, as well as the supporting materials for it. She adds that these aren't items that can be easily obtained. As the Tower Lord, he should know this better than anyone. Beaming, Francois replies that he knows better than anyone that the fact ancient magical relics still exist is astonishing. Adding supernatural abilities to the mix makes it a goldmine for a mage. Amelia is glad Francois understands, especially since supernatural abilities are something he cannot even touch outside Trovantia. Lily wonders if Francois came here because he's interested in supernatural abilities. Supernatural abilities are unique traits that only Trovantians possess. Although the continent's mages rushed to study these abilities, Trovantia maintained a strict isolationist policy, making research nearly impossible and direct observation even more difficult. Therefore, mages were desperate for any paper on supernatural abilities. Now that Lily thinks about it, she wonders how Francois even got into Trovantia. The coastal defense isn't something he can just breach. She resolves that if he threatens her sister, she'll bite his arm off. Suddenly, Francois tilts his head back and asks Amelia what she wants. His radiant skin makes Lily doubt whether she could really bite him. Patting Lily's hand, Amelia questions Francois how old he thinks Lily is. Francois guesses that she must be around 4 or 5 and adds that she doesn't seem to be Amelia's daughter but her sister. Amelia confirms this, explaining that Lily is not her daughter but her younger sister, born prematurely at only 7 months, which left her body quite weak. She adds that Lily gets a fever whenever she's surprised, and a single cough in the cold air could lead to pneumonia. Grasping the situation, Francois asks if Amelia wants him to use healing magic. Amelia mentions she read his paper, which stated that drinking a mana potion with a structure similar to divine magic increases healing effects by 5 times. Even if there's nothing particularly wrong, she believes it will promote cell division and growth in developing children, making them healthier. Francois praises her, noting that although she's not a mage, she is quite knowledgeable. The main reason Amelia met Francois was nothing else but Lily's sickness. Lily tugs on her sister's sleeve and requests to go outside, saying it feels stuffy in here. She knows she needs to end this meeting immediately. Amelia looks at Lily for a while before asking the waiter to bring some orange juice for them. Lily is very worried as she wonders what to do since nothing good will come from getting involved with Francois Castle. The waiter brings the juice, and Lily believes this situation is dangerous. She contemplates her options and decides there's no turning back. She intentionally spills the juice on herself. Amelia is alarmed and scolds Lily for causing trouble, asking if she's hurt. Lily apologizes for her clumsiness. Her hands and clothes are sticky, but she doesn't mind as long as it helps her avoid Francois. Suddenly, Lily notices Francois smiling at her. She panics, wondering why he's looking at her that way. Back at home, Lily questions Amelia if she plans to meet Francois again, adding that she doesn't like him. Her sister teases her, asking why when Lily couldn't take her eyes off him the whole time. Lily agrees that he's handsome but insists she still doesn't like him. Amelia states that Lily needs to get healthier, so they'll keep meeting him for Lily's sake. She points out how hard it was for her to arrange the meeting. Lily ponders to herself that Francois is an extremely dangerous man, even more dangerous than Amelia realizes. If something happens to her sister because of Francois, Lily knows she'll end up hating herself. Hugging Amelia tightly, the scene shifts to a playground. Lily is excited, running around with joy. Regina watches, happy to see Lily so lively again. It's been a long time since Lily came to a playground. After the Rebecca incident, Lily suffered from a severe fever for a long time. The shock had overwhelmed her, making her physically ill and bedridden to the point where she couldn't leave the house. This meant she had to quit kindergarten as well. Being stuck at home had been stifling and made her feel down. Earlier, Lily had thrown a tantrum, crying about missing her friends and rolling on the floor while calling out their names. Regina, trying to calm her, suggested playing hospital, but Lily insisted on going to the playground. Amelia, slamming the door open, shouted at Lily to stop making noise and suggested digging in the sand instead. With her sister's help, Lily finally made it to the playground. Playing there makes Lily forget all her worries. Being stuck at home was depressing. She was also anxious about being her sister meeting the original male leads, but now as she swings higher, all she can think about is how much fun she's having. She wishes someone would push her higher. Regina is knitting nearby when suddenly, someone pushes the swing from behind. Lily wonders who it is but decides it doesn't matter as long as someone is pushing her. The man asks if she's having fun and if she wants to go higher. Lily happily replies that she does. The man pushes the swing higher, making Lily feel as though she's flying. She's so high that she loses her grip on the swing and is flung into the air. Just as she's about to fall to the ground, Regina shouts her name, rushing to catch her. Lily ponders how strange it is that everything seems to be passing by so slowly. Little does she know that she is falling, and worry consumes her as she wonders what will happen to her now. She thinks to herself if this is how she is going to die. However, before she hits the ground, a man catches her just in time. Slowly opening her eyes, she sees a handsome man in front of her. She is in shock as Regina and the man who had been pushing her on the swings rush over to her. Regina, crying, asks Lily if she is all right and if she is hurt anywhere. Lily assures her that she is fine. Regina hugs her tightly, tears streaming as she expresses how worried she was, relieved that Lily is unharmed. Lily knows her sister was truly scared. Suddenly, Lily feels all her strength leave her body and is unable to hug Regina back. She apologizes softly to her sister. The man who had been pushing her on the swings panics, repeatedly asking if Lily is sure she hasn't hurt her head or broken any bones. He continues to ramble, horrified by how close she came to collapsing. The man who caught Lily interrupts, reassuring him that the child is safe. Calling him Marius, he tries to calm him down. Hearing the name, Lily freezes, her eyes widening in disbelief. Marius expresses his relief and addresses the other man as Leo, thanking him for his quick reflexes. Hearing both names leaves Lily utterly shocked, as if the ground beneath her is crumbling. It hasn't been long since her eldest sister got involved with that lunatic Francois, and now the other two male leads from the story are here too. Regina suddenly snaps, scolding Marius, her voice sharp. She demands to know if he even considered how small Lily is and how dangerous it was to push someone so fragile with such force. Lily is stunned by her sister's angry tone. Regina is usually as gentle as a spring breeze, but now her anger fills the air. Marius, who is generally carefree and easygoing, is known to turn frightening when things go wrong. Lily grows anxious, afraid that he might lose his temper because of her sister. Regina points an accusing finger at Leo, fuming that if he hadn't intervened, Lily's head could have cracked, or her legs might have broken, leading to a huge tragedy. Lily tugs at Regina's sleeve, her voice small and shaky, pleading with her to stop. However, Marius suddenly bows deeply, apologizing earnestly. Regina gets worried that Lily is tremble and surprise. Lily is indeed surprise, but it's a different kind of surprise. Marius, the easygoing emperor of the empire in the original story, was never portrayed as someone who would apologize so respectfully, let alone to someone from Travantia. Lily tells her sister that she is okay and she doesn't need to be so mad anymore. Regina looks and admires how her little sister is trying to calm her down like this, patting her head. Regina agrees that she won't be angry anymore. Regina then turns to Leo and expresses her gratitude for saving her sister, acknowledging that without his help, a terrible accident might have occurred. Leo brushes off the praise, saying it was no big deal and that he only did what he had to do. Leo, in the original novel, he appeared as a sword master who trained his body to extreme and later become the commander who led the Travansica Empire after the victory in the war. To be honest, Lily is not saying that she is not sacred of him, but if it weren't for him, she would have been dead by now. Lily hesitantly bows to Leo, addressing him as Mr., and thanks him for saving her. Her gesture makes Marius smile, finding her absolutely adorable, though he struggles to control his emotions. Leo, too, smiles faintly at her sincerity. Regina, still grateful, insists on giving Leo something as a token of appreciation. However, Leo waves her off, assuring her it isn't necessary, as he only acted out of instinct to save the child. Before the conversation can end, Marius suddenly steps forward, interrupting to request something unexpected. He asks if Lily and Regina could become their tour guides. An awkward silence fills the air. Lily internally screams, questioning what kind of absurd request this is. Why couldn't they simply accept the thanks and part ways? Marius continues, explaining that traveling to Travantia is incredibly challenging, and they need guidance to navigate the area. He asks Regina if she has any objections. Lily silently pleads for her sister not to fall for his tricks. To her relief, Regina laughs and replies sharply, pointing out that if Marius had any conscience, he wouldn't be asking something so ridiculous. Lily feels a wave of happiness and admiration for her sister's response. However, Marius, not ready to give up, suddenly shifts the blame to Leo, claiming that it was Leo who needed a guide more than anyone else. Leo tries to protest, but catching a glimpse of Regina's beautiful face, reluctantly agrees and says that if possible, he would like to ask for her assistance. Lily's heart sinks as she realizes even Leo has fallen for her sister's charm. She debates what to do. She knows it's dangerous to get involved with these broken male leads, but there's no way to avoid it now. Marius's arrival only confirms that a meeting with her eldest sister is inevitable. Since her sister is part of the Imperial Guard, she will likely be tasked with escorting them. Resigned to her fate, Lily makes a decision. She forces a smile and announces that they would be fine acting as their guides. Internally, she switches strategies, vowing to ensure that the male leads and their families become allies, preventing further chaos. With that, Lily changes her strategy and decides to become one-day guide travelers with the male leads along with her little sister for the day. Although her little sister's anger subsides, she still completely ignores Marius. Fortunately, Marius doesn't seem to care much about being ignored. Instead, he simply laughs it off. This is certainly unlike Francois, who is like a ticking time bomb. Lily feels relieved since she has decided to befriend Marius, and she believes she doesn't need to be so scared of him anymore. At the restaurant, Lily lowers her head and sighs heavily. Marius teases her, wondering how someone so small can sigh so loudly. Lily looks at him and ponders whose fault it is that she's so tired. Marius then asks how old she is. Lily points out that she is 6 years old but quickly adds that she is not a kid. Marius, amused, remarks that if she's 6 years old, that makes her practically a baby. Lily, curious, asks how old he is. Instead of answering directly, Marius flashes a gleaming smile and asks how old she thinks he looks. Lily, momentarily distracted by his dazzling smile, begins to wonder what is wrong with these male leads. Both Leo and Francois are incredibly good-looking, and Marius is no exception, his features almost like a sculpture. Being weak against handsome men, Lily finally understands why he is one of the main leads. There's a brief silence as Lily becomes lost in her obsession with Marius's face. To cover up her thoughts, she quickly blurts out that Marius looks like he is 550 years old. Marius, pretending to be hurt, pleads with her to look again, insisting that his handsome face can't possibly look that old. He also suggests she speak casually with him, saying it's a great chance to talk informally with an emperor. Lily, annoyed, doubles down, saying he looks like 5,550 years old. Marius laughs, joking that she clearly doesn't have an eye for these things, but insists that even if he were 5,000 years old, he still is handsome for that. Lily, however, protests, declaring that Leo is more handsome. This makes Leo choke on his food. She teases Marius further, emphasizing that Leo is better looking than him. Marius, now sulking, begs her to reconsider. A heated debate ensues at their table, with Lily insisting that Leo is the best. Suddenly, Leo pats Marius on the shoulder with a smug expression and tells him to calm down, adding that if the kid said so, there's nothing they can do about it. It seems like Leo is enjoying the compliment as he was just choking moments ago, but now appears pleased. Meanwhile, Marius pretends to cry, lamenting that he's not handsome among the 5,000-year-olds, but Lily denies even that. Regina laughs, saying that her little sister has good taste, and she agrees with Lily's assessment, making Leo even more embarrassed. Marius, instead of getting angrier, begins teasing Leo, who blushes like a tomato. Regina finds the whole exchange amusing, while Leo thanks Lily for the compliment. The server arrives with their food, and Regina thanks her. She explains that she has ordered mostly meat dishes because she heard that the Empire prefers meat-based meals, and asks if that's okay. Everyone thanks her for being thoughtful. Lily, thrilled to have her kid's meal, feels like she can finally regain her energy after dealing with these exhausting male leads. Just as she's about to take her first bite, the restaurant door creaks open. The server welcomes the newcomer, and Leo glances up, noticing Francois. He wonders what Francois is doing there. Lily freezes, flustered, as Francois' name is called out. Francois explains that he had to take care of something, so he arrived earlier than planned. He then questions what Marius and Leo are doing in Travantia. On the other side of the table, Lily starts panicking, wondering if she is some kind of magnet for male leads. She regrets ever asking to play outside today, as the situation is now beyond her comprehension. Marius replies casually that they came a few days early to do some sightseeing and mentions that they've been guided by some lovely folks. Pointing to Lily, he asks why her face is so pale. Lily, thinking to herself, wonders if this situation doesn't warrant such a reaction. Francois glances at her and, with a smile, addresses her as little lady, remarking that they've met again. Lily looks up at him, terrified. She is genuinely afraid of Francois because, in the original story, he not only imprisoned the heroine but also forced Lily to become her maid after dragging her to the Emperor's prison. In the story, when the heroine refused to eat properly, Francois poisoned Lily with a substance. The poison required a regular antidote to avoid a painful, wasting death, and Francois only provided the antidote if the heroine ate her meals properly. Out of guilt for Lily's undeserved suffering, the heroine, Rebecca, forced herself to eat despite her own revulsion. Remembering all this, Lily greets Francois in a low, trembling voice. Regina, noticing the interaction, asks if Francois knows her little sister. Francois realizes that Regina must be her older sister and remarks on this, saying she must be Emilia's twin. Regina confirms that she is Emilia's twin but notes that they don't look alike, something she hears often. Regina then asks Francois how he knows their little sister. Lily tries to stop her, but before she can, Francois states that it's looked like her sister didn't tell her and reveals that Emilia made a contract with him for Lily's health. Regina, curious, asks about the nature of the contract. Francois apologizes, saying it's not something he can discuss casually. Regina then says she'll just ask Emilia about it later. She prompts Lily to eat her meal first, but Lily feels like she'll get indigestion at this rate. Lily doesn't know what kind of contract her sister made with Francois, but she suspects it was for her sake. Internally, she hopes Emilia doesn't get scolded too badly for making such a decision. Francois looks at Regina and questions, "What's her name?" Regina tells her name, he then addressing her directly. Tells her that when she gets home, she should ask Emilia for the details since it seems that Emilia, as Lily's guardian, made the decision on her own. Regina laughs but agrees to do so, thanking Francois for letting her know. Lily, however, wishes that her sister doesn't get scolded, but she is certain that Emilia is going to be scolded badly. She silently prays for her sister to run as soon as possible. Meanwhile, back at home, Emilia is completely unaware of what is about to happen to her. Lily is fast asleep on Leo's back as they walk together. All four of them are making their way forward when Marius questions if Lily is feeling sleepy. Regina also asks the same thing. Lily had just finished eating earlier. Francois had left because of work, and afterward, they had been playing at a nearby beach. Noticing the drool on Leo's back, Lily assumes that she must have fallen asleep during the walk. As they arrive at their destination, Regina informs Leo that they have reached the house. She adds that they will be walking from here on their own. Leo insists on accompanying her to the front door, but Regina gently explains that it's okay since it's a house of just girls. She believes both her sister and she would feel uncomfortable if he came inside. Leo agrees, acknowledging that he was being thoughtless. He bends down slightly to let Lily climb down from his back. Lily, waking up, thinks about how nice the air felt from up there. Reluctantly, Leo calls Regina's name, blushing as he hesitantly asks if he could possibly seek her guidance again another day. Marius adds a whistle to this romantic moment, making Lily step on his foot and scold him not to do that. Marius mimics her, saying, "Don't do that," and pats her head. Flustered, Lily tells him to stop mimicking her, but he keeps doing it anyway. Annoyed, Lily starts hitting his leg, calling him an annoying uncle and a goat pig. Marius laughs, teasing her that there's no such thing as a goat pig. In retaliation, she calls him a lizard, but Marius chuckles again, asking if she even knows what a lizard is. Lily points out that she does and accuses him of underestimating her. Taking both her hands, Marius remarks that she's quite an interesting little kid. Lily demands to be let go, adding that she is not a little kid. However, Marius teases her further, saying that anyone who claims not to be a little kid is, indeed, a little kid. Frustrated, Lily starts crying loudly. Regina turns to Leo and points out that her sister is crying, so she needs to leave. She tells him they should meet again at the cafe in 3 days at 2 o'clock. Meanwhile, Marius panics, pleading with Lily to stop crying. He admits his mistake and asks her to forgive him this once. Regina tries to console Lily, asking who made her cry and urging her to calm down, but Lily keeps crying. Internally, Lily labels Marius a bad guy and childish. She resolves that if she ever becomes strong enough to deliver a hammer fist, Marius will be the first person she hits. Regina takes Lily away, continuing to soothe her as they leave. Once they are gone, Leo turns to Marius, questioning if he really had to make a child cry. However, Marius finds the situation amusing and teases Leo, pointing out that thanks to this incident, Leo was able to set up a meeting with Regina. Marius then observes that Leo has clearly fallen for Regina at first sight. He teases Leo further, recalling how nervous he becomes even when he accidentally meets a lady. Marius wonders how the knights would react if they saw Leo like this. Just the thought makes him laugh, as he believes it would drive them all crazy. Marius muses that getting lost and ending up at the playground was a chance given by the Lord. Leo agrees with him. When their trip to Travantia for the summit was confirmed, they both arrived earlier than expected to take care of some matters. The government expresses unease about 2 people traveling without an escort, but both Leo, a human weapon, and Marius, who ascended the throne after a bloody conflict with his brothers, are skilled enough to move freely without one. Thus they set out to tour Travantia without fear. As they walk, Marius asks Leo if he knows where they are, but Leo tells him not to ask since he is just as clueless. They believe that if they keep walking, they will find their way eventually. Observing their surroundings, they note that the standard of living in Travantia appears to be high. Marius, who had expected the country to be stagnant due to its isolation policy, is surprised. He believes that if there were ever a war with Travantia, the empire would suffer great losses. Leo agrees, pointing out that with 30% of the population being psychic, Travantia is certainly a country that cannot be ignored. It is rich, peaceful, and beautiful, with a mild climate and abundant resources. Marius remarks that any conqueror would covet this place, but he also realizes that diplomatic relations with Travantia, rather than conquest, may guarantee much wealth for the empire. As they consider this, Marius hears the sound of Lily playing on a swing. He hadn't realized there was a playground nearby. Leo observes that it looks fun, and Marius wonders how much fun it would be to act like that again. Seeing Lily, Marius suddenly recalls a past scene, a man telling them to listen carefully because he is going to die soon. Marius then states that the child they are seeing is Burquois' child. Leo, confused, asks for clarification. Marius explains that before coming to Travantia, He had learned about a late-born child in the Berkois family. Berkois was a great political background family. Leo points out that it is surprising that Andrea Berkois, a promising politician in the prime of his career, had chosen to live in the countryside. Leo wonders why Andrea made that decision, but before he can expect an answer, he notices that Marius is no longer standing beside him. Marius talks to himself that the moment he saw Lily he wonders why he left such a lovely child to suffer this much. He reflects on his vow to Andrea, stating that his promise as Marius Schimmelhofen will remain valid even if time is reversed. He vows to protect the siblings Andrea loved, believing that keeping this promise is the only atonement he can offer. Pushing Lily's swing higher, Marius silently renews his determination. At home, Regina is shouting at Emilia, demanding how she can make such an important decision on her own, especially one concerning Lily. Regina asks why Emilia didn't mention anything to either her or Alice. Emilia, apologetic, says she simply forgot to tell them. She tries to reason with Regina, explaining that it's a great opportunity to have someone as brilliant as Francois help them. While Regina acknowledges Francois' genius, she argues that Lily is not a lab rat and they can't recklessly experiment on her, especially without solid evidence. Emilia, feeling frustrated, snaps back, asking if Regina thinks she hasn't already thought it through. The argument grows louder as they continue to bicker. Meanwhile, Lily lies in bed, unable to sleep because of the noise. She knows that all this happening is because of her. Only if she was stronger her sister would not have been fighting hugging her cookie-shaped teddy bear. She whispers to her teddy that she wishes her oldest sister would come home soon. Lily is convinced that once Alice is back, her younger sisters will stop fighting because Alice is the strongest person in the world. With that comforting thought, she finally drifts off to sleep, hoping her big sister will return soon. The next morning, Lily is lost in her thoughts as Emilia calls out to her repeatedly, trying to wake her up. Shaking her gently, Emilia insists that Lily needs to get up and get ready because they have somewhere to go. Lily protests, begging for just a little more sleep, pulling the blanket over her head. Emilia firmly declares that sleeping more is not an option. Still refusing, Lily argues stubbornly, but Emilia's unwavering no makes it clear that Lily won't win this battle. Later, while eating breakfast, Lily spreads jam on her bread and asks Emilia where they're going. Emilia, combing Lily's hair, reminds her about the gray-haired man they met recently, adding that they're going to see him again. Shocked, Lily immediately pretends to have a stomachache, claiming she needs to stay home. Seeing through Lily's act, Emilia scolds her, warning that lying will get her in trouble. Lily protests, insisting she's not lying and really needs to rest, but Emilia's stern glare makes Lily quickly admit she feels fine. Lily mutters under her breath about having to meet Francois again. Frustrated, she decides she'll ask Emilia to buy her the great juice she's always wanted. At the restaurant, Lily looks uneasily at the bubbling liquid in front of her. Francois explains that the taste might be unusual but reassures her it's not strange and asks her to bear with it for a moment. Disgusted, Lily wonders how they can call this concoction healthy. She glares at Emilia, clearly upset. Emilia encourages her, saying bitter-tasting medicine is often the most effective. Accustomed to dealing with magical potions because of Emilia's work as a renowned scholar in supernatural abilities, Lily knows exactly what might be mixed into the potion. She adamantly refuses to drink it, even when Emilia tries to bribe her, promising to grant her any wish if she complies. But Lily stubbornly replies that she doesn't need anything today. Realizing Lily won't cooperate, Emilia forces the straw into Lily's mouth. The smell is unbearable, and Lily hesitantly takes a small sip. The moment the liquid touches her tongue, she spits it out, declaring she can't drink it. Emilia pleads with her, explaining the potion will make her healthier, but Lily cries out that she doesn't want to be healthier if it means drinking something so awful. Reduced to tears, Emilia begs her to try again, but Lily starts sobbing, shouting that she hates Emilia and won't drink the potion. She grabs her food and moves to another table, burying her head in her arms and muttering angrily, calling Emilia a fool. Lily thinks to herself that if she had known this would happen, she would never have come. Emilia approaches her again, apologizing and asking her to calm down, but Lily turns her face away, vowing never to forgive her. Suddenly, Francois steps forward with a piece of cake. Kneeling down in front of Lily, he apologizes for upsetting her and offers her the cake, hoping to cheer her up. Surprised, Lily looks up at Francois and is struck by how handsome he is up close. For a moment, she's swayed by his appearance but quickly turns away, deciding that no matter how handsome he is, she won't forgive him so easily. Francois, noticing her reluctance, swirls his finger, conjuring a magical squirrel made of light. The squirrel starts to dance, captivating Lily. She reaches out to touch it, finding it soft and warm. Seeing her smile, Francois gently asks if she can make up with her sister and uncle. Without thinking, Lily nods and agrees, but she quickly regrets it. Before she can take back her words, Francois pops a piece of cake into her mouth. He explains that the potion is artificially structured to resemble divine power, which is why it tastes awful. Francois praises her bravery for trying it, leaving Lily feeling slightly proud. As the situation calms down, Amelia sighs in relief and sits back. Francois explains that since it's Lily's first time drinking his potion, there might be some side effects. He instructs Amelia to give Lily medicine and let her rest if she feels unwell or develops a fever. Amelia then asks Francois how long he plans to stay in Travantia. He replies that he's only here for work and won't stay long. Amelia requests that he check on Lily once a week while he's here, reminding him it's part of their contract. Francois agrees, stating that a contract is a contract. Turning to Lily, he calls her name, making her look at him with wide eyes. Francois expresses his hope that Lily will grow healthy. Amelia and Lily leave the restaurant. Lily is glad to be back, but Francois' expression suddenly becomes scary, leaving her to wonder why he had such a look on his face when he said he wanted to be healthy. Lily opens her home door, pondering if her little sister is at home. She calls out, wondering what Regina is doing. Regina tells her to come over. Her room is so aesthetic. Holding up two dresses, Regina asks which one looks better. However, Lily believes both dresses look good on her, which doesn't help Regina make a decision. Amelia suddenly bursts open the door and appears form behind, startling Regina, and questions who she is meeting. Regina nervously admits she is meeting a guy. Amelia points out that Regina has been on plenty of dates, so why is she so worried about her clothes now? Lily feels the same and thinks maybe that's why Regina acted so startled. Regina, with honey blonde hair as rare and sweet, as Travantia nectar and eyes as beautiful as jewels, stands out compared to her eldest and youngest sisters, who aren't interested in romance. The second sister, however, is quite into it. Many men have tried to impress Regina, even bringing her gifts to win her over, but none ever captured her attention. Regina explains to Amelia that the man she's meeting is decent, good-looking, and has a nice personality. Amelia mocks her, asking if Regina is meeting him just because he's decent or if she genuinely likes him. Regina asserts that she is interested because he's decent. Lily, amused, believes Regina is being proactive and wonders who the guy is. Amelia picks a dress for Regina, believing it suits her best. From behind, Lily, all excited, wonders who the guy is and if it's someone she knows. Regina reveals that she is meeting Leo, the guy they met last time. Lily is startled by what she just heard. Amused, Lily exclaims if Regina is really meeting Leo, the original male lead. Amelia, confused, asks who Leo is and what kind of guy he is. Regina teases Amelia, calling her Miss Alone forever. Lily never imagined this kind of development. After the war between the Empire and Travantia erupted, Leo and Regina's sister Alice stepped forward as commanders of their respective nations. After an intense battle, Travantia eventually fell, and the one who took Alice's life was none other than Leo. Lily, excited, thinks that if Leo and her younger sister get along, maybe her older sister will be safe even if a war breaks out. She believes it's a great opportunity. Jumping on the bed, she exclaims that if it's Uncle Leo, she's all for it. Regina laughs, agreeing for Leo. So I'm too, while Amelia is curious why Lily is so excited about it, as it feels something is off. Placing a hand on Lily's forehead, Amelia tells her she needs to take fever medicine. Lily is confused and asks why. Amelia picks her up, insisting she must have a fever. Now that Amelia mentions it, Lily realizes her head does feel warm. She hopes it will go away after taking the medicine. That very night, Lily ends up being carried to the local clinic on Regina's back. Despite taking the fever medicine, her condition worsens. While Regina carries her, Lily feels guilty, thinking Regina was so excited about her date with Leo. Lily knows if Regina worries about her, she won't be able to go on date with Leo. Sniffling, she apologizes to Regina, wondering why she keeps getting sick and disrupting things. Meanwhile, Leo stands with flowers, heartbroken. Marius, noticing him, asks why he is so early and wonders if he got rejected. Feeling down, Leo admits he was stood up. Surprised, Marius asks what happened. Unable to answer, Leo recalls when Regina had asked if he had a fiancé or wife. He had told her he didn't. He remembers how Lily started crying, causing Regina to leave abruptly, and how she had promised to meet him in 3 days at the cafe around 2. Leo, saddened, thinks he doesn't know much about women but believes Regina wouldn't have asked him such a question if she wasn't interested. He wonders if he misunderstood. The fact that Regina didn't show up even after he waited 3 hours confirms to him that she isn't interested. Marius tries to comfort him, saying they had only met once. But Leo counters, saying it doesn't matter whether they met once or 10 times. What matters is how he feels. Marius realizes Leo has truly fallen in love. Marius then informs Leo that the guide from Trovantia will arrive soon, asking if he has packed everything. They both were moving to the hotel due to security concerns. Marius also wonders why Francois is in Trovantia. Leo explains that Francois was supposed to swear an oath of loyalty, but agrees it's unusual for him to arrive this early. Marius points that Francois said he had some businesses, but Leo is curious that what kind of business he had and wonders aloud if that doesn't bother Marius. Marius believes that it's probably personal, or maybe he's taking the opportunity to study the espers while he is here, though he actually knows the real reason but chooses to keep it to himself. There's a knock on the door, and Marius immediately realizes that she has arrived. Leo, who is already standing, gestures that he will go to greet her so Marius can finish up. When Leo opens the door, he introduces himself, and Marius soon follows, stepping forward to shake her hand, remarking it's nice to meet her, extending his hand. She takes it and, with a firm grip, explains that while they are staying in Trovantia, she will be responsible for their security. When Marius looks at her, his eyes widen. Finally, she introduces herself as Chief Inspector of the Trovantia Maritime Police Security Bureau, Alice Bourgeois.